Hey guys, welcome back. Week 6 of Super Rugby AU, and we are starting to get return fixtures now with the Brumbies versus the Force, last year's champions versus last year's bottom placed team. So getting into these two teams' seasons, the Brumbies, they've had 3 out of 4 games that they've won. They had that loss in their last game against the Reds, and then they had that bye, so they had quite a bit of time to reflect on that game. The Force, they've only won 1 out of their 4 games. 2 of those losses were pretty close, within 7 points, including last week's game versus the Reds, where they really pushed them until the last minute. So both of these teams actually have had 2 good seasons. The first game, the Brumbies did beat the Force by 16 points, so it's probably favourites for them again this week around. Looking at the two teams, not a lot of changes for both sides. The 2 props are changed for the Brumbies, with Slipper in at tight head prop. That's not his usual position, though he can play tight head instead of loose head. Lloyd is at number 1 for the Brumbies there, joining Falau Fahinga, who has been doing his thing from the back of the maul. They are up against Holmes and Robertson, who's also been scrumming very well. Holmes, who got his start last week, I think it was his 150th cap for a Super Rugby side, so big game for him, and he's continuing on that this week. Katu'u had a good game last week. I did say before last week that he was under pressure in the week before. You could see that the lineouts went a little bit better last week, and he scored a couple of tries from that as well. Getting into the 2 second rows, we get Tamani and Thrush, who switched around for some reason this week in this game. Swain and Neville at number 4 and 5. They are continuing on their partnership that has been building this season so far. Lee Warner at number 6, who's been doing his thing from number 6 this week around. He adds a bit of locking power as well at the end of the game when they do bring on another loose forward. Valentini at number 6, Koteka at number 7, who's been playing very hard so far. Jarome Brown comes in at number 7 for the Brumbies as well, with Cusack being injured this week around. So those 2 will be taking on each other when it comes to breakdown time. Then there's a big battle at number 8. It's usually a big battle at number 8 when it is Australian teams going up against each other. Brainerd Standard versus Samu. Samu scored 2 tries last week against the Reds, or last time out against the Reds. So he's in good form at the moment. He found himself a couple of times out on the wing and sprinted for those tries. Standard, he's the captain again this week around. Kubeli at number 9. Like I said last time out, he's kind of solidifying his position as the starting number 9. Nick White being the captain for this week for the Brumbies. I think it is his 3rd time ever captaining the side. Lolesio at number 10. That combination is just growing and getting better. This guy is just getting better, and I don't know how good he's going to be 4 years down the line. Then we get McIntyre at number 10. Prone to a couple of mistakes in the game as well, but prone to moments of brilliance as well. There's a couple of guys like this in that Western Force back line, which does leak a couple of issues or mistakes for the side as well, but they do make brilliant tries as well in the game. Simone versus Taefo, 2 hard runners of the ball. Kuridrane versus Ikitau. Kuridrane going up against his previous team yet again. Has another time to show what he can do. Ikitau at number 13. That combination of Simone and Ikitau is just growing. Then out wide for the Brumbies, they have nothing changed there with Muriad and Hansen, both of them in good form. Banks at number 15. For the Force, they have 2 enforced changes in their back 3, with Marcel Brachi coming in at number 11. Kahui, he got a concussion or something like that last week, so he missed a big chunk of that game anyway. Brachi does add a bit more speed to the side though when he is at 11. Byron Ralston, he is looking like he is returning a bit more to form. Like I've said previously, he isn't in the form he has been, or he was last year this time. McGregor at number 15, also in for an injured Rob Carney. McGregor is also a guy like McIntyre. He's very dangerous at times. There's things that he can do that a lot of other guys don't do, where he sniffs out gaps and gets a lot of good offloads. That try that he scored, that was a brilliant try last time out. But he is also prone to a couple of mistakes, a couple of kicks out on the full. Just like McIntyre, there's a couple of bad passes in there as well. A couple of times missing the catch as well. But on attack, he is very dangerous. So, looking at these 2 starting teams, pretty even in my opinion, if you just look at that. But the benches do play a crucial role in this one. And there's a couple of changes for the Brumbies there, a couple of debutants as well. Lenorgan is joined by 2 debutants in the props, number 17 and 18. James Tucker is also brought in to the side this week around, and then Rory Scott is also a debutant. So quite a couple of debutants coming on in the latter stages of the game for the front pack of the Brumbies. Ryan Lenorgan, we know what he's been doing so far this season, kicking long range penalties when he does come on. He's also going to be the captain when he does come on to the park for Nick White. Then teenage sensation Pesitoa is a guy to look out for, and Fines has also really rounded out the game for the Brumbies this season. The Force, they have a strong bench so far this season with Winchester, Wagner and Medrano, a very good front row to bring on for their side. Macaulay and Anstey, a very good combination to bring on as well. Anstey, we know what form he was in before he got a bit of a niggle as well. Ian Pryor, a leader that can round out the game for them as well. So is John O'Lance. And we also have a debut for Olowefela, the English under-20 player. I hope I said that surname right. He is a speedster. Look out for him. He can also do it on the 7th circuit. Guys, looking at this, you should always probably go with the Brumbies here. If you also look at the betting terms, there's massively in the favour of a win for the Brumbies here. You can get a lot of payout for the Force though. But for me, I'd also go for the Brumbies being at home. The Brumbies to win this one by 15 points. You never know what the Force can do in this season. They've shocked quite a few teams so far with how good they do come out of the blocks quite fast in the first half. So 15 points for the Brumbies. Let me know your prediction down in the comments below. Also check out these videos next to me. Hit the subscribe button if you do like the channel. And then I'll see you for the next one. Cheers.